Alright, what's going on, everybody? Hey, what's up, Ox? How you doing? Hope you're having a good evening so far. So it's been a while since I last did Chaos Ed here. Okay. God, I can't even remember where in these save files we were here. 626, 28, 210, 214. Okay. So I think it's this one actually. Yeah, cause damn. It's not made it very far in this. Okay. Alright. Movie about lesbians. Okay. Is it a movie that just came out in theaters or okay, so I think let's go with red delusion here.
Ne, Naito Haruto.
Yep, save here. Yeah.
僕はいつでもお前を見てるんだぞ。
Pulp Fiction meets Harold and Kumar. Huh. I don't know what this movie. Hold on. What is this movie? What is it called? Let me see. That's popular. Wait, what? Ordinary Angels? Something about driving? Oh, Drive Away Dolls? Alrighty. Do you like go out and watch a movie like every week? God, I haven't been to the theater to see a movie since Oh, Oppenheimer, I think. Okay, anyway, we'll do a green delusion this time. Okay, so let's see if I Nightheart. Okay, yeah. $20 for as many movies you can watch. Really interesting. Yeah, I would imagine there's not a whole lot of people doing that kind of thing right now. Mm. Well, that's cool. I don't know. I don't feel like there's enough good movies right now to bother with something like that. Mm. And then I hadn't typed anything into the keyboard, but Nightheart was talking. I thought I was hallucinating and rubbed my eyes, but the text remained on the chat window. The 2D world?
それって僕に言ってるの？
You're not interested in anything 3D, right?
いや、そうだけど。
If Nightheart was talking to me, the person inside him, the player, did that mean he had a will of his own?
だが断る。二次元世界に行くならせっかくだから僕はエロゲの世界を選ぶぜ。
Damn, he just flat out turned down ESO. Doesn't want to have anything to do with that shit.
バゼラードはお前に任せるよ、ナイトハルト。
I answered, then powered off my computer. That was it. That was a very brief delusion there. Alright. Save. Okay, I think we'll go red again this time. Banana. Okay. Save. Yes. Alright, red. So, I mean, how was the movie? Did you like it, or? Wait, what's going on here? Black. Okay, we'll go. Hold on. I guess I need to save again. Okay, we'll go green on this one. Oh no, are we getting another Sarah? Another Sarah delusion this time?
当たり前だ。僕の後ろに立つなと何度言えば。
Huh? Did I just hear a girl's voice? I froze. Had the owner of the gaze finally shown themselves? Was that possible? Should I turn around and see who she was? But what if she attacked me as soon as I did? She sounded pretty cute, but what if she was a terrible monster? No, if she was a monster, she might be getting ready to attack me right now. If I didn't turn around, I could die before I even realized what was happening. Hey, what's up, Zane? How you doing? Should I try saying something else to see if she answered? It could have just been a delusion, or maybe I'd just been hearing things. You know, like how I always hear my Seraton figure talking to me. Like that. I tried to say, "Who the hell are you?" but I cut myself off. It wouldn't be smart to say anything to set them off, right? I might provoke them into attacking me. I was seeing so many awful things in my delusions that I couldn't move. What should I do? Maybe I was just being an idiot. If there was nobody there and I was just sitting in my chair, scared to death of my own delusions, I'd look like the world's biggest moron.
あれタク固まってる
It wasn't a delusion. I wasn't hearing things. There was somebody behind me. Shocked, I turned around.
どうもどうも
It was the demon girl. It was the girl I'd seen during Crucified. She was right there, sitting on my sofa. Okay, wait, this is the green delusion, right? Why are we? For some reason, she was grinning as she looked at me. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. She was here to kill me at last. It was because I'd talked to those cops. She'd used her clairvoyant powers to see me doing it remotely. And now she'd snuck into my room without making a sound so she could watch me cry and scream and beg for mercy, and then kill me. I knew it. Don't kill me, I tried to scream, but I was too scared to get the words out.
コケコッコ
She stared at me, tilting her head, and recited a strange spell. She must be speaking in the demon language. She was going to curse me. I tried to hide under my desk to put as much distance between us as I could, but I was panicking so much that I hit my head on the edge instead and crumpled to the ground in pain. Okay, I know we've seen this scene before, so I'm not sure why this isn't being skipped.
何やってるのタク今すっごい音したよコツンって
She still had a happy smile on her face, but it was just a trap to get me to drop my guard. I was sure of it. The second I let my guard down, she would come for me. Or maybe that spell a second ago had cursed me. In a few days, my body would start spurting blood from all its pores, and then I'd die.
頼むよ殺さないで
I curled up into a little ball on the floor, cursing the detectives I'd met earlier.
警察に喋ったこと謝るから
警察
それに話してもちっとも信じてもらえてなかったし
That was just a lie I'd told to buy time. The detectives had said they'd protect me. If that older guy was doing his job right, he'd surely send an officer to protect me. Then I realized I told the officer my phone number, but I hadn't given him my address.
石
Okay. I think I'm not gonna read the rest of this because we've been through this scene before. Unless it like changes part of the way through, but
独り言はやめるべし。殺さないでとか警察がどうとか、私には何のことかさっぱりだよ。ほら、立てる？立とう。
だって見たんだ。お前が人を殺してるとこ。
あのさ、タク、それかなりひどいこと言ってるって気づいてる？まさか殺人犯呼ばわりされるなんてね。
ニュージェネの殺すんでしょう。それとも岩とか将軍とかがいる場所に連れてって。
ユア？将軍？誰それ？
そんなのやだ。助けて。
じゃあね、私を殺人犯扱いしなければ助けてあげる。そんなビビらないでよ。いちいち私がへこむようなリアクションしてくれるよね。
お願いだ。もう二度と誰にも喋らないから。だから見逃して。
もしもーし、タク、ちょっと落ち着こう。当然でしょ。あなたの名前を知ってるのは。タクって結構独り言多いよね。前から思ってたことだけど。タクの名前を知らないわけないよ。私物覚えはそんなに良くない方だけど、友達の名前くらい覚えるよ。それともタク、私のことバカにしてる？そりゃ私テストの点数はそんなに良くないけど、面と向かってそういうこと言われると傷ついちゃうな。
もしかして転校生？
そういえば近いうちに転校生が来るらしいよ。ツカチン先生が言ってた。もしもし？その顔はまさかまだ信じてくれてない？
誰だ？
タクこそクラスメートの顔を覚えてないんだ。ひどー。でもまあしょうがないか。タクはあんまり学校来ないもんね。だからって私の存在丸ごとなかったことにするのはどうかと思う。私の名前本当に忘れちゃった？そんなことないよね。知ってるでしょ？あなたは知ってるはず。そう、正解！賞金50円プレゼント。私、崎畑リミです。なんだ、やっぱり覚えててくれたんだね。よかったよかった。 もしかして本気で思い出せないの？さっき頭打ったせいで記憶喪失になっちゃった？タク、変だよ。じゃあ大臣に聞いてみて。そしたらタクも思い出せるかも。大臣だよ、大臣。三角大輔。ちょっと待ってね。大臣はよし、オッケー。はい。
あ、
ほら、固まってないで。タク、携帯使ったことないの？電話機は耳に当てるんだよ。
その目、誰の目？
Hey, did this happen last time?
なんてな、今この言葉流行ってるらしいぜ。んで、何の用だよ、リミ。
Okay.
タク、大臣出た？
I couldn't remember the whose eyes are those remark, but okay.
僕、西条。
なんだ、タクか。リミと一緒にいるのか？またリミに振り回されてるのか？大変だな、お前も。でもよ、一つだけ言っていいか？お前、そろそろ自分の携帯変えよ。で、タク、なんか用か？俺としては野郎からの電話なんてあんま嬉しくねえんだけどな。女の口説き方でも教えてもらいたいのか？なわけねえか。で、なんなんだ？今俺も女と一緒なんだよ。なるべく手短に頼むわ。
その、
なんだよ、早く言えって。
うちの
ん？
クラス
ああ、うちのクラスがどうした？
いる
何が？
女子。
あ？
咲畑って名前の。
お前さ、ゲーム脳じゃねえの？ リミのことだろ。リミの携帯でかけてきてるくせに何バカなこと言ってんだお前。わかった。お前もしかしてリミに何か指図されてんだろ。いたずらかドッキリか。
Yeah, I think I remember. This is actually the third time we're going through this scene. Because I remember, obviously, we went through it the first playthrough, and then the second, I did the red delusion for this, and for some reason it didn't skip, even though it was the exact same scene that we had seen the first time. And now I've done the green delusion, and it's not skipping yet again, even though it's exactly the same as what we saw before. I'm not sure why this particular scene is resistant to the skipping, but
本当にクラスメイト。
お前な、たまにしか学校来ねえから忘れちまったか。俺はともかく、お前は1年の時から同じクラスだろ。この前だって3人で一緒に映画見に行ったじゃねえか。俺がお前とダチになったのだって、最初はリミに付き合わされたのがきっかけだったしな。俺と同じでリミも物好きだからよ。ニートのお前を気にかけてやってるのは世界広しといえど俺とリミぐらいだぜ。あ、それは言い過ぎか。
I remember this is like one of the most confusing scenes in the entire visual novel.
マジで女っ気ないよな。おっと、これはあいつには言うなよ。
君は誰だ。
おいおい、マジでおかしくなったか。俺のことまで忘れたわけか。ゲームやりすぎ。
たく、汗びっしょりだよ。で、大臣はなんて？大丈夫？体辛いならソファーで横になる？
なんで？
なになに？
ここにいる。
なんでって、タクに会いに来たんだよ。もしかして勝手に部屋に入ったこと怒ってる？でもそれはタクがちっとも返事してくれないから悪いんだよ。結構長い時間ノックしてたんだから。
なんで？
今度は何？
ここにいる。
Okay. Finally, we're back to being allowed to skip again. Okay, let's see. Save here. Okay, we'll go red this time. That wimpy-looking transfer student didn't matter at all. What mattered was Rimi. I had to do something about her.
あれれ
I heard a voice from the back of the class. Rimi. She'd started talking.
梢ちゃん転校してきたの
Causeway? Who the hell was Causeway? Who was Rimi talking to?
なんだ崎畑、折原とは知り合いなのか？
はいそうです
Rimi was talking to the teacher. I was getting even more confused. I couldn't even think straight. The transfer student laughed innocently.
リミさんを追いかけて私も来ちゃったのそうなのやることが大胆だな
What? Was Rimi talking to the transfer student? Did they know each other? Was this transfer student a servant of the demon girl too? I froze, unable to do anything but listen to their conversation.
リミさんよろしくねこちらこそこれから楽しくなりそうだねうんすごく楽しくなるかも
Bro, what the fuck?
だよね楽しみ楽しみねえそう思わない思うよね西条匠
ああ、どうやら折原は緊張しているようだな。よし、挨拶はいい。
The teacher's voice brought me back to my senses. I was so relieved to find out that this was just a delusion. The transfer student was still standing there timidly, not saying a word.
みんな、この子は折原梢だ。仲良くしてやってくれ。折原、席は一番後ろだ。席についていいぞ。
The transfer student bowed silently and started to walk toward me. Her seat would be 4 rows behind me. I thought about pretending to follow her with my eyes as she walked, so I could look back and see who was there. But if I did, I'd stand out a lot. Some DQN might see me and say, "Don't stare at the transfer student just because she's cute." Then they'd try to beat me up. What should I do? Turn around or wait until homeroom ended? My head drooped as I squeezed my fists tightly. It was no good. I didn't have the courage. If I turned around and saw her...
その人って
Huh?
悪い人なのだったらね本当に殺してあげてもいいよ
The transfer student passed by me. I gasped and looked up at her. Our eyes met, but she quickly turned away and passed me by. That voice... It was a delusion, right? Maybe I was under so much stress I was starting to lose sight of the distinction between delusion and reality. In the end, I stayed there trembling in my seat, lacking the courage to look around. I focused on trying to calm my fear of Rimi, who I was sure was watching me. Eh? There are only 5. Wait. I think we'll go green on this one. I guess I could listen.
あのさ、私だけど、別にあんたの声が聞きたいから電話したわけじゃないんだからね。なんとなく暇だったからとかその程度の理由だから、わかった？
Wait. Is that like Senna?
でもクラスが別になって最近話す機会が少なくなったね。あんた、私のことどう思ってるわけ？例えばさ、私に告ってみようとか思わないわけ？別にあんたに告られたからって私は嬉しくもなんともないんだからね。そもそも私が OK する保証は万に一つぐらいしかないんだし。でもさ、行動しなくちゃ何も始まらないって思わない？
Well, I guess he knows now.
とにかくあんたは試しに告ってみること、わかった？じゃあ今日の放課後伝説の木の下で待ってるから、急いで来なさいよ。来なかったら承知しないんだからね。
Yeah, that could totally happen. Wait, no it couldn't. Our school didn't even have a legendary tree. Who was that tsundere girl supposed to be anyway? LOL. She was kind of a lame character. I should have made it Seiretan at least. I guess now wasn't the time for delusions. I sighed a lonely sigh and decided to listen to the message. I looked around to make sure the demon girl wasn't anywhere nearby and put the phone up to my ear. Alright, we'll go green again here. Okay. Okay, yeah, this is where he's in the middle of Shibuya with like no people around. Nobody came out. Maybe there really was nobody here. Okay, if that was the case. I picked up the boxed meal and headed straight for the automatic doors. I stood in front of the door. The automatic door opened. I tried to go outside.
待て。
The cashier finally came out from the back. He was a gloomy, unimpressive-looking guy, maybe a college student. He leaned over the counter and glared at me with empty, lifeless eyes.
お前、今万引きしようとしただろ。
I sighed and headed back to the register.
あんたが出てこないからでしょ。
さあせん、居眠りしてました。
His bow to me was fake and accompanied by a mocking laugh. I snapped. This store was doing a terrible job of training its employees.
しねえ。当然タダで持って帰ってもいいよね。
は？それとこれとは別じゃないですか。
あんたの責任なんだからあんたが代金立て替えろよ。
ふざけんなニート野郎。
この。
My hand flew out before I even knew it. A lightning-fast punch hit him right in the nose. He flew backwards with a pathetic screech, slamming into a shelf and falling to the ground. It was a beautiful punch, if I do say so myself.
すいません。
He got on his knees and bowed to me, his nose bleeding and tears falling from his eyes.
お金は結構さ、だから帰ってください。
分かればいいんだよ。
I took 4 pieces of dorayaki from the stand near the register and walked over to the door, satisfied.
二度と来るかバカ。
With a final awesome one-liner, I left the store. Several minutes had passed while I was lost in my delusion. There was no sign of any employee at all. In the real world, I'd never do any of the DQN-like things I'd done in my delusion, but I wasn't assertive enough to call out for anyone either. I just stood there in the empty store. I wanted to believe that the cashier was just asleep, so I waited another 5 minutes. But there was still no sign of the cashier or anybody else. There wasn't even any sound. Okay, I think we'll go red here. Red again. Red. Should I do a green here? Yeah, let's do a green here. Okay. No, I was imagining things. I hadn't done anything that would make the police suspicious of me. I hadn't killed anybody. I was innocent and harmless. For now, I just needed to rest a little more. My heart was still pounding hard. I looked up at the night sky, taking one shallow breath after another. I couldn't see the stars. The bright artificial lights of the city created a thin veil that blocked out the sky above Shibuya. The faint light of the stars had traveled dozens, if not hundreds, of light years to get here, only to be blocked off by a veil of ugly blackness. It was such a cheap sky, but in Shibuya, this was normal. I lived in Shibuya, so this was my sky. I looked back toward the policeman. My whole body froze. He was coming close to me. I needed to make sure not to make eye contact. I stood up and looked over to the side of the bridge. The footsteps were getting closer. I prayed they'd pass me by. But...
Kimi.
He spoke. He was definitely talking to me.
ちょっといいか
My heartbeat had almost calmed down, but it suddenly sped up again.
すいません。急いでるんで。
そうは見えないな
Why was he talking to me? I listed the options in my mind. 1, because I was alone at night in a place like this. 2, because I looked suspicious. 3, he was just questioning everyone. 4, he thought I was possibly the new gen killer.
身分を証明するもの。そうだな。生徒手帳を見せてくれないか。
Damn it. I didn't have time for this. I needed to get somewhere that wasn't so out in the open. Yua might find me again. But if I ran away from the policeman, I might get arrested. And even worse, if option number 4 was right, running might only make things worse for me. I just have to get through this. With no other choice, I took out my student ID from my jacket pocket and showed it to him. He took it and checked my name and picture. Then something changed in his face. He frowned. What? Why are you reacting like that? Is my name that big of a deal? Maybe I was a suspect in the New Gen killings after all. But the cops were wrong. I didn't do it. Yua said I did, but I didn't. She said I just didn't know it. But that was impossible. I didn't sleepwalk. I didn't have multiple personalities. She was just wrong about everything.
ありがとう。
Surprisingly, the policeman gave back my ID. And then he turned back toward the park, as if he was running away. Something was very wrong. I had a really bad feeling. Did they really think I did it? I stared at him. He went over to the man on the bench and bowed to him a little. At least, that's what it looked like. It was weird. I was imagining things, right? But he definitely looked over at the man on the bench. Whether he bowed or it just looked like he bowed, I couldn't tell from here. The policeman left the park. The man on the bench was playing with his phone. At least, that's what it looked like. But his fingers weren't moving, or so it seemed from here. It was too dark to tell. Normally, I'd be able to see the light from the phone's LCD display, but I didn't. Something was strange. I looked around at the other people in the park. One of the homeless men was sitting on a stump away from the others. He wasn't moving at all. He was looking down, and he seemed to be holding some kind of strange board. There were 3 homeless people in front of a little shack covered in a blue tarp, but they didn't seem to be talking. They were just sitting there. One of them had a hand up to their mouth. His sleeve and hand were blocking any view of his mouth in a way that seemed almost too obvious. Maybe. I couldn't tell for sure, but it was weird. There was a strange tension in the park, but maybe even that was just my imagination. Maybe everyone in the park was a plainclothes detective? The delusion came bubbling up in my mind, making me shiver. I told myself frantically that it was just a delusion, but I didn't want to stay here any longer. I should get out of here. I started running. I ran over the bridge and headed to the steps going down towards Meiji Street. As I stopped, I looked back at the park. The man on the bench had stood up. None of the others moved. The man's body was turned toward me, but his face was turned to the side. He was about to walk toward me. It felt to me like he was walking a little fast. He was chasing me. That man was a detective. He seemed to be in really good physical shape, for one thing. I had no idea what he did for a living. I couldn't tell just by looking at him. I didn't know for sure that he was a detective. No, he was a detective. He had to be. He was tailing me. I couldn't stay here. I ran down the stairs. Shit, shit, shit! Now it wasn't just Yua. The cops were after me too. And I hadn't done anything. I hadn't done anything at all. Should I proclaim my innocence? But right now, I was running from the police. And they were probably just going to try and frame me anyway. They wouldn't believe a creepy otaku like me. I didn't have time to think about what would happen next. For now, I just needed to get away from Yua and the police. That one desire was the only thing driving me. Okay, red. Okay, I think we will go green this time here. I left the classroom and raced to the front entrance of the school. But of course, I didn't forget to walk along the side of the hallways with my head down. The bell had rung a little while ago, so the only kids left around were the ones on cleaning duty, or in clubs and on sports teams. There was something slightly lonely and nostalgic about a school after the last bell rang. It didn't matter if it was an old wooden school or a newer one like Suimei Academy. Not that I'd ever been to an old wooden school outside of an H game. As I lost myself in thoughts of H games with wooden school buildings, I could see a strange silhouette at the end of the hallway. It was a girl slowly walking with two big cardboard boxes in her hands. They were so big I couldn't see her face. She probably couldn't see in front of her either. It was incredibly dangerous. In an H game, this would be my cue to run into her and start her route. I thought about doing it, but I didn't actually try. If anything, I was really cautious around her. There was a decent chance she was one of Shogun's assassins. I had to stay away from her. I had to be careful. I watched her feet closely. She was getting closer, staggering to the right and then staggering to the left. I was walking on the left side of the hallway. When she headed toward the right, I picked up my pace. I managed to get past her without problems. But then, when I heard something fall and looked down, I saw a student notebook. I stopped. Had the cardboard box girl dropped it? I stared at it, trying to think. My first instinct was to be suspicious. Why had she dropped her notebook just now? The timing was too obvious. It was like she was trying to make me pick it up. Could it be a trap? Had she dropped it deliberately? She was holding the boxes with both hands. She didn't have a hand free to do anything. If her notebook had been in her skirt pocket, it would be impossible for her to take it out and drop it on the floor deliberately. But I hadn't seen where it had come from. Maybe the cardboard box girl had it in her hand the whole time and was using the boxes to hide it? I couldn't be sure. Maybe it wasn't deliberate. Most people would assume it was just a coincidence. I watched the cardboard box girl to see what she'd do. Or tried, rather.
Huh?
Just then, she'd rounded a corner. I'd only seen her from behind for an instant. It wasn't anybody I knew, probably. Her hair seemed short, maybe. No, it also seemed long. I couldn't be sure. And of course I hadn't seen her face. It had been hidden by the boxes when we'd passed each other. The hallway was empty except for me and the student notebook. The normal thing to do would be to pick it up and take it to the teacher's office, or run after the cardboard box girl and bring it to her. But I was hesitant to do that. I looked around. There weren't any other students nearby. I could hear a group of girls laughing in the distance, but that was all. It was hard to believe this could be a trap. The person who owned it was already gone. What could they do to me? Was there a miniature bomb attached to it? No, that was ridiculous. So even if I picked up the notebook, nothing bad would happen to me. That's right. Yeah, that had to be right. Just in case, I should check who the girl was. She might be working with Shogun after all. I could check her class, her photo, and her name, and then put it right back on the ground. I certainly wasn't going to waste my time going to find her. After taking several glances around to make sure nobody was nearby, I picked it up and flipped to the first page. I quickly threw the notebook to the floor. What the hell was that? I had this awful, creepy feeling in the pit of my stomach. It wasn't scary as much as it was sickening. Somebody had set this whole thing up to get at me. Who? Who would do this? It had to be that girl. She was working with Shogun after all. I knew it. I'd only seen the inside of the notebook for a second, but its owner's name, birthday, class, everything that was supposed to be on the first page was blacked out. The photo had been ripped out too. I felt sick. I suddenly felt like throwing up. I wanted to get out of here as soon as I could. I ran for the stairs, hands over my mouth. By the time I made it to the courtyard, I couldn't hold it in anymore. The second I dropped to my knees, the contents of my stomach came flooding up my throat. Damn, they couldn't start skipping just a little earlier. Alright, red. Okay, let's see. You see my swirling? What was that? What ISA meant by power? Possible that I had it. Ooh. Okay, I think we'll go green here. Wait a sec. Is Reem? Well, shit, on second thought, since Remi's there, I should have picked red. A lot of delusions. Yeah, let's see. I could count how many there are. There are looks like there are 44 total delusions throughout the visual novel. So, yeah, there are quite a few delusions. All right, let's do red here. Yep, 44. Red again. How many have I found? Well, I mean, I'm not sure what you mean by found. I mean, anytime this black spinning thing shows up, that means, well, I mean, you could pick neither the green or the red, and then I guess you don't have a delusion, actually, but, I mean, I think the second time I played through this, I picked a delusion like every time the black thing came up, so I've done all of them. The difference is whether I pick the green or the red. So technically, if you're wanting to separate green delusions from red delusions, then you would multiply it by 2, so there's actually 88 delusions. And then how many have I played through? Probably like 60 of them at this point. Anyway, I think we'll go red here, I think, because this is another Remy thing, I think. So we'll go red. Suddenly, my vision went black. I could feel pressure on my eyes. Yeah, this is where Remy... Yeah. What was happening to me? Could it be the legendary Guess Who scene? But Scholar said it only existed in 2D. In 3D, it was just an urban legend. I never thought I'd get to experience it myself. In this moment, I became one of life's winners. Of course, I knew the answer right away. I trained myself on identifying voice actors just by listening to their characters. But it was too embarrassing for me to say Remy, right? No, how should I answer? What was this sound?
どう？答えわからない？
Someone was there. I sensed somebody there who wasn't Remy. With my vision closed off, my other senses were heightened. There was another person here. And then the sound of creaking metal. Was it?
その目誰の目？
A sense of terror raced through my body. I tried to knock away Remy's hands, but she resisted.
ちょっとちょっと、ちゃんと答え言ってよ。ズルしちゃダメなんだから。
This was weird. It didn't make sense. Why was she acting so innocent? Didn't she notice? Or was she just pretending not to notice? The fear of not knowing what was going on around me was unbearable. Remy's slender hands were still over my eyes. I grabbed them and tried to pull them off.
タク？
Remy kept resisting. We ended up struggling against each other, and her body pressed into my back. I could feel the soft sensation of her breasts, but I didn't have it in me to enjoy them right now.
離せ。
I escaped Remy's grasp, leapt away, and turned around.
どこだ？将軍はどこに？
Remy was standing in front of me, looking confused. I looked around. I tried to find the wheelchair. It wasn't there. He wasn't here.
いない。そんな。
I couldn't see him anywhere. He wasn't outside in the yard or at the entrance. I couldn't see any sign at all of an old man in a wheelchair.
タク、ごめん。びっくりさせちゃった。
Remy looked apologetic. It was hard to believe she was faking it.
今、いなかった。
何が？
車椅子の老人が。
Remy looked confused.
いないよ。私は見てない。その人と一緒だったの？
違う。そうじゃなくて。そうじゃなくて。
I was starting to lose confidence. I was sure I'd heard it, but did I really? The creaking sound of the wheelchair, Shogun's mocking laugh, and then, whose eyes are those? Did I hallucinate that? Was I that on edge? Yeah, that had to be it. Nothing more.
大丈夫だよ。
Remy's smile looked forced to me.
私が一緒に帰ってあげるから。怖がらないで。
Her words made me feel better. I let her walk ahead of me as we headed for the school gate. Okay. Okay, save. Oh, wait, did I not? Ah, crap, I must have skipped that one accidentally. Oh well. Okay, green delusion here. The hell? Remy? Like it was planned from the start, like the cry of my heart had been heard. Remy had come to save me. She flung open the door and came racing inside.
リミ、助けて。
Remy looked at me for a moment, and then looked around the room. She saw instantly that the computer was the cause of my fear, and began to type at the keyboard with an angry look on her face.
こういう時はきつく言った方がいいよ。
Remy turned back to me and smiled.
こう言っておけば案外あっさり引き下がるでしょ。
Was that really true? Remy didn't think it was that big of a deal, but maybe that was just because she didn't know a lot about the internet. Wouldn't that just make him even more mad? Especially somebody like Shogun. I gulped and waited for Shogun's next words. They came quickly. There was silence. Oh no. I knew that would make him mad. That last sentence sounded really pissed off.
どうせ口だけだよ、口だけ。まさかここに直接押しかけてくるなんてことはないって。それよりタク、大丈夫だった？ごめんね、電話くれたでしょ。ちょうどこっちに向かってるところだったから出られなかった。さっきの地震の後、タクが心配になってここまで全力疾走してきたんだ。来てよかった。
Even as she talked, I couldn't take my eyes off the monitor. The words, "I'll kill you," frightened me more than I could say.
なんてこと。
私が来たからもう平気だよ。何の心配もないから。
なんてことしてくれたんだよ。殺される。あいつに殺される。早く逃げないと。
落ち着いて。殺されなんてしないよ。タクの考えすぎ。
Suddenly, Remy fell silent. Her eyes narrowed and she looked up at the ceiling.
どうしたの？
その目。誰の目？
She whispered. Her expression twisted, and she put her hands up to her head in pain.
頭、急に痛くなってきた。痛い。そう。
She fell to the ground, as if unable to bear the pain. She shook her head frantically from left to right.
なんで急に。
No! I looked up at the ceiling. beyond it to where there might be a satellite. Was Shogun attacking? And then blood dripped from her mouth. The moans suddenly stopped, and her body shook. She fell head first onto the floor.
Amy.
There was no answer. She wasn't moving at all. She'd been killed. Shogun's electromagnetic wave attack from the satellite had killed her. It was such a quiet way to murder. He'd killed Remy without making a sound, smell, or anything else that would let you detect him. And the silence only made it more horrifying. There was nowhere to run. I dropped to my knees right there and tried shaking her shoulder.
ねえ、起きてよ。リミ。
There was nowhere to run, anywhere on Earth.
僕を置いていかないでよ。
Shogun could attack me anywhere I went.
こんなの妄想に決まってる。
Good Lord, these fucking delusions are just fucking ridiculous. I came back to my senses and saw that I was in front of the computer monitor. Remy's comment was gone. Shogun's "I'll kill you" was gone too. I looked around the room and Remy's corpse was nowhere to be seen. It was a relief to know she hadn't been killed, but I was disappointed to know that she hadn't really come. Why? Why didn't you come? Can't you see how scared I am?
お前だな。
Alright. Dude, I'm like really feeling really tired right now, so I think I'm just gonna end the stream here tonight. Man, I've just been struggling with feeling tired this whole week. But I'll probably be okay tomorrow because I'll get to sleep in, so. Alright, man. Well, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll try to get both Cyberpunk and Chaos Head in tomorrow, so yeah. Have a good night. Sleep well. I'll see you again, hopefully tomorrow.